What's the plan, Tesla? Welcome back.
Cyberspace.
Empirical training. Do you know what I mean? So empirical training.
Hello, welcome back to the Cyberspace Podcast. My name's Josh and we are Empirical Training. I'm joined by the other Empirical Trainers. We have Robbie, AJ and Vaughan. Three colleagues and now friends of mine who we all went together in the same Security Operations Center. And now we're in different places, but all coming together to talk about cybersecurity and help people understand cybersecurity, make it a bit more accessible for the masses, right, Rob? Democratize it.
You got it.
I was hoping for more of a backup than that, but we'll take it. So
that's the motto. You got it.
Let's go straight into the first topic of the day. This one gave me a few laughs because first of all, it gave me a laugh. Then it raised some interesting conversation points about what it takes to get a cybersecurity job, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and maybe some examples where it's worked, and maybe why did it not work for this guy. But hey, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a man who hacked his networks of a gym and of a not-for-profit organization to pitch his cybersecurity services. So this guy wasn't waiting for somebody to give him a job. He thought, I'll go create my own one and I'll hack into their systems and show that they've got vulnerabilities, and then hopefully they'll pay me some money. Which actually, on the surface, that doesn't sound like that bad an idea, right? It's basically a bug bounty, but for everyday businesses. Well, AJ, you tried to do some security for some SMBs once, right? This an approach you ever thought about taking?
Well, so what he's done is just gone to them and just hacked them, and then said, "Oh, by the way, you owe me loads of money now, or this is my solution."
I think unclear. I think he says, "Hey, here's your problems. Pay me, and I can come and fix them, and I'll reveal some other ones. Maybe it's like a proof of concept, maybe."
Oh, okay, that's kind of like grey hat hacking, I guess. Then, isn't it? It's kind of sitting in the middle where he's just kind of
it's free value, though. I think. I don't think it's even a bad thing.
I think it is illegal.
Yeah. Definitely illegal.
Yeah,
it's definitely illegal.
But he's doing it in a nice way.
It's given me a lot of correlations with, I can't remember the threat actor name, but they go, Josh, you'll definitely know where they are, but they call themselves a penetration testing company, and they say that they're hacking in and deploying ransomware for the good of the company themselves. So it gives me a lot of correlations to that. Yeah, they say, we've extorted your data and we're selling you online, but the point is we're trying to show you that you're vulnerable. And it's given me a lot of deja vu for that sort of situation.
Yeah, I feel like this is a nice neighbor attack because he's just a nice, friendly
help them.
neighborhood Spider-Man just dropping in and saying, "Hey, there was an open window. I kind of hopped in."
Great reference to last week's pod. If you're wondering what a neighborly attack is when it comes to cybersecurity, check out last week's episode. Good points. But so did someone in the chat has also said, what a great way to give yourself a lifetime membership. And I think this is where start of the problem stems, right? AJ said it's illegal. Yes. But we also know that people have done things like this responsibly and got themselves work or accolades, or released it as a CVE, disclosed it responsibly. This guy set his membership fee to $1, deleted his photograph from the gym's database, and stole a staff member's name tag.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd have just hacked in and then contacted them or walked in or, phoned them and said, "Look, I've managed to get inside the network. Here's how I did it. You might want to put some security services in. Or, by the way, we can sell them via my company." But he's done some weird stuff. So that kind of makes me not like it. He's not a nice neighbor, actually.
Yeah, he's not as friendly as he.
That's a nasty neighbor attack. That is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think it poses just Vaughan. Your point about the ransomware notes. I've seen a lot of those when they say you should pay us for our services. Don't think of it as a ransom. We've revealed some vulnerabilities and we'll help you fix them, like with a report, whatever. Which not unreasonable. I always think that the cryptocurrency miners, they're the real good guys, right? Because they put one on there, steal a bit of electricity, but ultimately let you know about a weakness without any real big impact.
Well, unless they've done it on your AWS infrastructure and your EC2 instances, costing you a fortune.
That's some experience for AJ.
Yeah,
that's some experience.
Yeah, that was actually where we first started, where the crypto miners would come about and they would just start dropping them on our customers' machines, and their bills would be extortionate.
auto scale to the moon. Yeah. The benefits can also, I mean, that's the same. Every benefit of technology could be used as against you, which maybe is a whole nother topic for another pod because we can go around on that one. But it gets weirder. Robbie, I think weird is the right term of phrase for this guy. Weeks later, he posted a screenshot on social media showing the gym's security camera system under his control. So I think at this point, I could live. You should have changed the £1 membership back up to a reasonable thing and kind of like make the change, show it's possible, document it, and then revert it. But the fact that he's kind of now made it their security camera system available to everybody, I don't know. Is this guy off the business or a bit of an ego stroke? What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's looking for some ex-followers, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, ex-Blue Sky, baby. I'm not even sure if is that the new replacement or Trump Social, Truth Social.
Truth Social.
Yeah. So the not-for-profit is the other organization he built. I haven't given you the information there, but he allegedly installed a VPN on their computer and changed lots of account passwords that they had, and it basically cost them $5,000 to remediate the intrusion, get like an instant response kind of set up on there for lost business and all the costs it would have taken to them. So this guy, not only did he, I mean, stealing your membership, probably fine, overlook it. Posting the pictures of the security cam sisters on the internet,
Yeah,
$5,000 worth of damage to a not charity. Oh dear.
Does he own a company, a cybersecurity company, or is he a lone ranger?
It sounds like a one-man band. So they always give you Colster is the name of the man or the organization. Unclear. But no, it must be his name because he's the one individual person getting prosecuted now by the Department of Justice. So to cut to the end of this story and what happened here, he is being taken to court. Also, a third company he'd been used hacking thumb drives or using stolen credit card information to buy hacking thumb drives and stuff. It's all around a bit of a dodgy fella. Lots of charges. If proven guilty, he'll face up to 15 years of prison. Do we think he's going to get 15 years? I don't know if the attitude shifted, but I could see 10 years ago, this guy gets a job, you know?
We might know some people that might have actually gone down a similar route, Josh.
We do know some people who, in fact, there's someone who works in my company on the offensive security side who has, he came from that pathway. He tells this story publicly, so I can say it, was on his way to a jail with handcuffs in an American jail in another country, cuffed up and in the bus. They pulled over the bus by the side of the road, and that's where they offered him the job at like the most pressurized moment when he was about to be incarcerated for whatever. And it was after the court case.
Whoa, really?
That's he's now actually like a wizard of offensive security, so develops attacking modules for Cobalt Strike. But anyway, that's not their podcast. So yeah, I mean, what do we think now? Like, is because I think maybe a bit more access to skilled professionals is a bit more readily available. We know that people are getting more into cybersecurity and getting better at it. Do they have the luxury now to not hire these good people, or is any good soldier worth it in the war in cyberspace?
Yeah, I don't know if they are actually still hiring, because I had a similar story of when I was in uni. It was before I was there, and one student got picked up by the FBI, and they ended up going to work for them as well. So I don't know if it still happens to this day. They probably will. Like, it depends what he was doing. Like, it's more of a misdemeanor, really. He's probably just kind of messing around. It's still illegal, but I guess it'll depend on the judge. You might know more, Josh, in that sort of realm.
I think we need as many skilled cybersecurity professionals as we possibly can. So locking this person up for 15 years or whatever is just a waste of good talent. So I think what we should do is offer them an alternative and say, look, there's some jail time, or you work for this government entity and turn your skills for good.
I like that, Rob. Maybe he just needs a bit of mentorship, a bit of guidance to kind of go through about things in the right way.
Someone a lot of time for that crime. You know, people will do some horrendous stuff in life and get probably less time for that.
Yeah. I mean, whenever they say it can be up to, unless it's a really heinous crime, you normally don't expect them to get the full thing. So we'll see. So it's 5 years for unauthorized access and plus 10 years for reckless damage. You know, $5,000 does not equal 10 years in my
that's quite a lot.
opinion. But yeah, we're seeing that people in the chat are saying, "Hey, now is maybe a time we need more cyber warriors. Maybe get them in the Ministry of Justice or Ministry of Defense, whatever alphabet boys you are in whichever region." Because put him in the trenches.
Well, maybe working for the government could be seen as a life sentence. Unless,
Ooh. Burn.
Low blow.
nah, you
But
probably
fair.
wouldn't want to go to jail, would you? But I don't know. Depends on your thoughts of the government, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, good point. So, the final question to ask on this topic is this a good way to create business for yourself? Is it a good way to get experience? Are there any other ways, gentlemen?
I mean, surely, right? I mean, just a simple, by the way, I'm willing to do a free one for you. It's just that permission. Getting that permission to start is the difference between 15 years and 0 years. And maybe even some money at the end of it as well, like legitimate money, not, extorted money almost. Oh, my camera's gone. But yeah, I think there's definitely better ways to do it.
Yeah, I think, like Vaughan said, call up that company and say, I'm willing to do a free penetration test for you to uncover some vulnerabilities. Are you willing to participate? And then if they say no, then you move on and you find another company. There's going to be a company that will say yes to free work and free value.
Yeah, that's so you can just ask in response that you just want a review from that. And if they say no, then there's no issues. But if you just go hacking your way into these companies and they expect something from them, then yeah, I think a lot of companies will tell you to piss off.
Yeah. Or create a hypothetical story and document it on social media and LinkedIn and say, if I was going to penetration test a company, this is what I would do. And
simulate it.
then you might get some business as a result of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess
marketing stuff.
You might say, "Hey, I've done my home labs. There's nothing like the real world out there where I can actually see what real people are running and the mistakes they might make." Because I think one thing we've probably all learned working in cybersecurity is just how easy and how easy the attacks can be sometimes when people make dumb mistakes or simple oversights. We always want to go for the most complex attack, but it's the low-hanging fruit that works really well. So that's can be maybe hard to simulate sometimes in your lab environments because we probably think a bit too much about how to secure a system and making it a bit more difficult to attack. So is there any resources out there you direct people to if they want to get the kind of hands-on experience and test out their, not generate business, but just test out their experience on both the offensive side and blue team side?
Well, I actually really liked Hack the Box. I had to go at the enterprise solution recently. Vaughan, I know you don't see much use for it in like an interview setting, but for training, I thought it was quite good. But yeah, as a practice and like a bit of a fun area, I quite liked the Hack the Box enterprise solution.
I do like Hack the Box, and like you're saying, AJ, I think it does give some really good introduction and more of a play about approach. But having that compared to some other training material in an interview setting and in terms of hiring a candidate, I would probably prefer some other type of certification compared to someone saying, I've done a lot on Hack the Box. Main reason behind it is there are a lot of tutorials out there, so can take away from the skills that you're learning there.
Mm-hmm. But the tutorials are only they're only supposed to be for
dedicated boxes. Yeah.
People broken the honor now, have they? And there's
potentially, yeah. I can't say I've come across any recently, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. But yeah, create your own CTFs. They're not actually that difficult, and then you can show someone you built them up and then attack them because it's all two sides of the coin in security. You need to know how to tear someone apart and build it up. How offensive and blue team, because like we always say, AJ, what's the point in a red team?
To make the blue team look better.
Look better, just make them look good, is it?
No.
Chat saying make him join Empirical Strike mentoring. Yeah, mate. if you get let go, if you're listening to this, there's a warm place, safe place for you over here at Empirical Training.
Yep.
We don't judge.
Cyberspace podcast. Empirical Training.
Great. So let's do the final question. We had a nice one from the chat. So this one probably needs us to go away and have some prep time. So let's just keep it light and high level. Because the question is, we're heading into 2025. What are your predictions about the tech market, especially cybersecurity? I've had some experience making terrible predictions that didn't come true, as well as
Yeah, but
when
that's the whole point of predictions. That if you just throw loads of them out and then one of them's right, you look like a genius. So don't worry, next year you'll be all right.
yeah, maybe I should do that. The
Yeah.
politicians' approach: predict one thing and then predict the opposite thing, and then either way I can go yes.
Yeah, we'll cut out the other one.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think hacktivism was the one. That was probably one that I did an request for commenting in an article. I think that one got picked up by some magazines. I thought, hey, the world we're living in at the time was like Just Stop Oil and climate justice. There was also the kind of Russia-Ukraine war was early on. So I expect to see a rise of that hacktivism. I haven't seen it explode, but I'm starting to see more stories about it and more mentions of it. And actually, Rob, did you see someone commented on your videos today that you posted saying, I commented, oh, hacktivism's on the rise. And he said, it already is. They just delete all of our stuff. And then he disappeared. It was quite surreal.
That was a bit eerie. I didn't see that, but
No. Yeah, but yeah, that my prediction, that's going to keep going. I mean, there are easy predictions to make. Attacks will rise. Number of cybersecurity jobs will increase. Number of skilled professionals will increase, but not at fast enough rates, creating a big skill gap. Those are boring predictions. Who's got a super bold prediction right now they want to go out on a limb off on?
Well, there's an AI is going to take over the world and take all of our jobs, and the industry is doomed. The world is
Y2K.
doomed.
iRobot.
I do think
that's
that.
what a lot of people think, though. Like a lot of people do think that AI is going to take pretty much everybody's job,
Mm.
and a lot
No,
of people
not
are scared
anytime.
about that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. In terms of, I think it is going to be an increase in AI-driven, like security operation centers. We're seeing it a lot, where we're introducing a lot more automation and things like that. And then on the flip side as well, the AI is going to be used a lot more in attacks. In what respect, I don't know. Maybe to build
Beyond
more.
social engineering, because that's what we've really seen so far. Beyond
Yeah, maybe building malware. I don't know.
polymorphic AI malware.
Potentially,
It's
yeah.
relevant.
I don't know how easy that would be, but yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, you're leaning forward. Is that you got something to say?
I do. On the AI front, yeah, very similar to what Jay is saying. I don't know if we're going to go full iRobot, but one thing I'm seeing with the analysts on my team is much more of a reliance on AI in the day-to-day in terms of getting tasks done along with automation and trying to use AI to answer questions where they would typically go out and search that sort of stuff themselves. So definitely a transition of a bit more of a symbiosis between analyst and AI. LLMs, I'm still not super convinced they are just kind of like glorified paragraph writers based off of information. So it's all GIGO, right? Garbage in, garbage out. They're only as good as the sort of information you give them. One prediction I do have, which is something I've actually been saying for a while, is entry-level cyber jobs. I mean, there is no such thing entry-level cyber jobs really, because you need the foundations, but your first job in cyber is going to get a lot harder over the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and a lot of the opportunities you have now to get into cyber won't actually be there in 5 years' time, because there's a lot of organizations are seeing at the moment a lot of these lower level tasks are starting to be automated to save time and money, which means the opportunities for analysts to come in and do them are being taken away. So I do also see getting into cyber being a lot harder as we move forwards.
Interesting. I could see it. I could also see it. Let me do the opposite prediction then one of us be right. I could see it making it easier because, having. I think it means that organizations are now turning to more unorthodox approaches to hiring, right? Rather than just getting the person who's come straight out of uni. Maybe they're not as valuing those skills as much because, ultimately you can ask ChatGPT to write essays for you and then submit those. And so they're not maybe as good a reflection of the candidate as they might have previously been. But also and I think people are going to university less. So we're going to have more diverse backgrounds, more diverse routes into cybersecurity, which I think they'll start to realize, okay, we took a chance on so-and-so. Then they did really well. Okay, now I'm more comfortable taking a chance on the next person, and so on. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. But saw some interesting stuff that managers are now not hiring specific skills, but hiring for problem solving and kind of general approaches because they don't know what security is going to look like in AI in the future. But I think that's very different from the practitioners, right? We're all very skeptical of how effective LLM or AI is right now. So chat's got some great predictions. There's a lot of ones aimed at a large cybersecurity company who had an outage this last year, and the 2025 they will not offer IT teams £10 Uber Eats gift card. Yeah, that was funny. that was almost the funniest thing. It wasn't code; it was content, and that everything's fine then. Thanks. All right. Any final predictions? Any one sentence, one word predictions?
I think just things are going to get crazy. The attacks are going to get bigger and more large scale, and more companies are going to adopt and start caring more about cybersecurity services, because there's a huge number of companies out there worldwide that are just not bothered in the slightest about their own cybersecurity posture. So there's a lot of headway that needs to be made, and I think it's just going to get pushed along by the sophistication of these cyber attackers. So, and with that brings way more demand for skilled cybersecurity analysts. But like Vaughan said, it's going to change. There's not going to be that entry level, low level ticket flogger. It's going to be like working on interesting incidents, orchestration, seam optimization, all of the interesting tasks that people like and enjoy.
And I think T-Mobile gets hacked for the 10th time in 5 years.
Yeah,
That's just
bound to
prediction
happen.
for me.
T-Mobile just
that's
shuts down completely.
It's not a bombshell that's bound to happen.
Or Elon Musk just creates his own telecom company and just buys up everyone else.
Elon Musk turns out to be AI all along, and that's why he was writing the letter saying "stall AI, pause AI," because he knew what he was going to do.
I got one for you. This big company that caused this massive outage this year. Obviously, that was.
Why aren't you saying
accidental.
their name?
I don't know.
Why are we hiding it?
I'm trying to lead on the legal side, Anyway,
CrowdStrike.
Oh,
I'm trying to be considerate.
Shots fired.
This
People
big
all
blue
mess
screen
up.
of death that CrowdStrike dropped this year. Obviously, that was accidental. Do we think there's going to be an intentional one of these that has a massive outage for some succinct country?
I don't know. If you sit on Reddit, they say that wasn't. It was intentional.
Oh,
Conspiracy theory.
Tune in next week where we
Yeah.
discuss every single conspiracy theory under the
I mean,
sun.
I think that's what we were all speculating on, wasn't it? Though, was this actually a mess up, or surely it can't possibly have been a mess up? It must have been a supply chain attack.
I think leaning into your point, though, Vaughn, I think other managed service companies will be looking out very carefully for the similar type of attacks happening. And like you say, the attackers, if they do get access to companies like that, then they could. I like what Arham says in there. Starlink getting hacked in 2025. So any company like that could cause a huge issue.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Nice. Well, I think we're going to. One of the things guaranteed, we're going to see some big stories next year. And I think that raises the awareness of cybersecurity as well. I think people can't pretend they can hide from it now. It isn't an issue. It's a necessity. It's the brakes on the cars that mean the car can go really fast and then brake before the corner so it doesn't fly off the track. So yeah, get involved. And Rob, I want to leave you with, you've got another summary, but you know what I really want you to do. Prediction or...
I think that might be it.
It's a wrap.
Cyberspace.